echoing my song. I'm coming.
Man, that guy can sing. I'm Steve Adubato. This guy cannot sing. That guy can sing. He is Reeve Carney.
Thanks, Steve.
Back by popular demand.
Thank you.
We had you over in Lincoln Center at the Tisch WNET studio. Now, this is the NJTV studio in Newark. Reeve Carney is, that is Hadestown?
Hadestown, yep.
And you play?
Orpheus.
Set this up. By the way, let folks know where it is. The Walter Kerr Theater over on West 48th Street.
Yep.
Set this up for us.
Okay. Well, it's based on the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. I play Orpheus, and it's a retelling of the myth of those two characters, but incorporating something that has been involved in a lot of the versions of involving Orpheus' story of Persephone and Hades. So it's kind of two intertwining love stories is what they like us to say about the show. It's a tricky one to talk about because you don't want to say too much because our composer, Aeneas Mitchell, has written something so beautifully layered that it allows, in my opinion, the audience to really sort of project themselves onto the characters. And so it's tricky. You don't want to, I'm hesitant to give too many details about the show always because I don't want people walking into the theater having any specific idea about what they're about to experience.
It's so interesting. You have to tease this thing. You have to promote this thing.
Yeah.
You just like when you had what was that little thing you were in when you came to Spider-Man?
Right.
Oh yeah, you heard of Spider-Man, right? You didn't have to plug that too much because it's like, oh, it's Spider-Man.
Right.
This is different?
It is different. And I think, yeah, I mean, you don't have, and with Spider-Man, I mean, it's based on a storyline that everyone understands and everyone knows. The great thing about Hadestown and even the myth of Orpheus is that a lot of people actually haven't read it. And I think it's almost more interesting for some people if they come into the theater to see Hadestown for the first time having not read anything about the myth. And then maybe, because we've had a lot of repeat viewers. There have been people that have already seen it 20 times.
Really?
Which is amazing. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that they can bring whatever they're experiencing emotionally, even that day, to the theater, and hopefully we can help them, experience something that's, dare I say, a bit cathartic. I do think it is a cathartic experience for both the audience and the performers.
By the way, Best Musical? Tony Award?
We did win that, which is awesome.
What was that like when that happened?
That was amazing. I got to stand on stage with everybody, which was so cool. Yeah, being up there and looking out at Radio City Music Hall. I mean, I performed earlier in the night with the cast on that stage, but getting to the last award of the night, it's pretty exciting.
Help us understand this, Reeve. So you're performing. Mm-hmm. You're all in. You're there with your castmates. You don't know you're going to win.
No.
Let people in on this. You don't know.
No, we don't. No.
So you perform not knowing.
Right. No, definitely. I mean, I don't think anyone knows. I can't imagine they do. I always wonder about that.
It's not like they get you to go, hey, listen.
No. Well, because every musical that was nominated for Best Musical performed that night.
Okay.
So you're all performing, but
that'll tell you I didn't watch the Tonys.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're busy. Don't worry.
That's all right.
But I did know that if it started with "huh," then I could run up because I knew that it was the only one that started with "huh."
That's the way you analyze this?
So then, yeah. So I was like,
promote and plug your colleagues.
Oh, yeah. In Hadestown?
Yes.
Okay, well, I work with Eva Noblezada, who plays Eurydice in the show, and that's a tough one in terms of characters. If you don't have someone to work with that's as brilliant as Eva, it would be a lot less enjoyable of a job because we have the opportunity to fall in love every night on stage, which is not easy if you're working with someone you're not comfortable with. We have Eva, we have Patrick Page, who I've worked with before on Spider-Man, played the Green Goblin, and he plays Hades in Hadestown. Andre DeShields, who you may know from The Wiz, from Ain't Misbehaving. His list of shows is incredibly long and illustrious. And also Amber Gray as Persephone. And then we have a beautiful ensemble, and it's.
Let me ask you this. Is it 8 shows a week?
It is 8 shows a week.
Break that down again. I know only because we've had so many wonderful performers from Broadway, and our great producer, Georgette, is wired in that community and helps us in that regard. Break down the 8 shows. How many on Saturday?
Well, it depends. We're on what I've heard referred to as the princess schedule, which I personally love.
The what?
The princess schedule.
Which is?
Which is one show Tuesday, double show Wednesday.
Okay. Matinee and
right,
night. Go
matinee
ahead.
evening, and then evening show Thursday, evening show Friday, matinee evening on Saturday, and matinee only on Sunday. So you almost have 48 hours off on our current schedule.
That's the princess.
Which is like, but some people have the most messed up one, I think, is when you have Wednesdays off, because then you start on Thursday, Friday, double Saturday, double Sunday, Monday. Not good.
All right, hold on 1 second. You got to confirm whether this is truth or fake news. You ready?
Okay.
You got this schedule.
Right.
You got this going on.
Right.
You got some music coming out?
I do.
You got an album? Come on, stop.
Well, I put out an album called Youth is Wasted, which I made in my apartment while I was working on Spider-Man and Penny Dreadful.
Right.
And
By the way, Penny Dreadful over on Showtime.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And you play Dorian
Dorian.
Gray.
Yep.
Good stuff. Go ahead.
Dorian Gray. Yeah. Very different from Orpheus. I do love that. I love the chance to be able to play as many different characters as you can, and jumping from. I don't like the idea. I don't think any actor likes the idea of being pigeonholed. So having the chance to play someone like Orpheus, who is, I describe Orpheus as, well, what I should say is that this is the first version of Orpheus in which he has had these character traits. In the former versions that I was a part of in Canada and in London at the National Theatre, he was kind of a confident, macho, traditional male macho energy guy, and now he's, I like to describe him as someone who is sort of guileless. And that, I think, lends itself to presenting the story in a way in which, I don't know, I think people can hear it more when you have that role played with those qualities.
And hold on, Georgette, what'd you say? You got a film, a biopic?
Oh, we talked about this last time, which you may not remember because you have so many interviews, but I watched it.
I'm gonna stop you right now.
Yeah.
Why you say this?
Yeah.
I'm looking at your hair, which is the greatest haircut. No, I'm being serious.
Thank you.
Could it work?
Kevin
for me?
Garcia. Yeah.
It would not. What, Patty? What are you laughing about? It would never. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
could. I do love.
All right, I get Jet. I got it, Georgette. I know it wouldn't work. Okay.
I'm not even sure it works on me. No, I'm
Yes,
kidding.
it does.
You're nice.
Works
Thank
great
you.
on you.
Thank you.
Do the Jeff Buckley thing.
Oh, well, so yeah, I got cast in a film about Jeff Buckley, the musician's life, in 2011. So I actually was interviewed by you after I was cast in that, and we talked about this briefly, but it hasn't been made yet. They're planning on making it this year. So
2 seconds left. Go ahead.
I hope that it will be made this year.
All right. Is it not a fact that you said that you've done hundreds of interviews?
Probably.
And this is by far.
The best.
And
Yeah.
that I was the best interviewer?
Yeah.
I just made that whole thing up. Listen.
It's awesome.
You are a terrific guest.
Thanks,
You're a
Steve.
wonderful actor. You got incredible pipes, as I said, and we wish you and
Thank
your
you.
colleagues at Hadestown, Walter Kerr Theater, 219 West 48th Street, beautiful New York City. Reeve, thank you so much.
Thanks, Steve.
Well done.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, NJIT, the Northward Center, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, Englewood Health, and by Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by Commerce and Industry Association of New Jersey and by Jaffe Communications. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.